reached out to you on LinkedIn, and I was so happy to see you on LinkedIn.
I mean, good 12 years I've done aggressive corporate training. To give credit to Mr. Sorabji Piroj Shah Godrej. He used to iron his own clothes. Such a rich man. He used to polish his own shoes. He used to clean his own toilet. People who would be hearing me post this episode in Mumbai. Today, Mumbai is able to breathe good air. I would thank Mr. Godrej and his fight to preserve the mangroves belt. I mean, modern management consultants, they would concentrate on what? HR, wherein you need to pay attention to shop floor. Girl, she's saying that most of my friends, they do vape. So I said, what is vape? I don't know. Cocaine, drugs. He was a 16-year-old boy, but then he got withdrawal symptoms. Doused his eyes. हाथ डाल के आंखें निकाल दिया उसने. The pleasure is here.
So you can please forgive me. I can go wrong somewhere. You can always stop me and correct me.
No worries. I mean, just chill a bit.
Hello and welcome to Rashi Foundation, the chosen one. We are blessed to have Rajyogi Brahma Kumar Nikunj, a dynamic spiritual leader of the Brahma Kumari Foundation. Exemplifies simplicity, humility, wisdom. His journey from skepticism to spiritual dedication began at a very young age. Renouncing worldly pleasures, he embraced a life of spiritual path, meditation, facing criticism with unwavering faith. Through his writings and social projects, he spreads peace and spiritual wisdom worldwide. आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है.
Namaskar. Thank you for having me.
Okay, Nikunji, to start with, I want you to share your journey. कैसे आप इस पाथ में आए and आप कैसे इस पाथ में रुक गए? Let's hear.
I have a very long, interesting story. मैं 13 वर्ष की आयु में, at the age of 13, I was introduced to Brahma Kumaris. It was by my Masi, who was in London with Brahma Kumaris since 1984. And they were going to Mount Abu from Bombay. And they were going to stay with my family for a day, and that's when I was introduced to Brahma Kumaris. Very rebellious kid, totally atheist, non-believer of God, and I mean, if I look back, I still feel surprised about myself. How come I landed here and I'm still, I mean, I have sustained so long. So many times I've been asked this question that it's been 35 long years from me. How did I sustain so long? From me, one simple answer which I always give is that is unconditional love and affection of the women who have raised me. Because I actually do not have that your typical parenting experience of a father and mother. I have been brought up by 21 wise women who are known as Brahma Kumaris today, but white sari clad women, they have actually brought me up. They have taught me to talk. One of them used to make me study. One of them, used to send me out to the school. So, I mean, my whole world has been women centric. I could really not learn to think from a man's perspective. My whole worldview is women centric. The world I saw was from a women's eye. So, I guess, to me, अगर मैं किसी महिला या स्त्री को देखता हूं या उनके बारे में सोचता हूं तो मेरे दृष्टि में एक ही शब्द आता है और वो है शक्ति. I mean, kind of, I really feel at times surprised the way good educated women, they go through a lot emotionally, physically, in spite of knowing their true potential. तो इसीलिए मुझे कई बार अचरज, मुझे मुझे बहुत सारी महिलाएं मिलने आती है, उसमें कई सारी इतनी वेल एजुकेटेड होती है, बट दे आर सब्जेक्टेड टू डोमेस्टिक अब्यूज, डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस. तो मेरे लिए स्त्री मतलब शक्ति, माँ.
So, continuing with the question further, as you said that you've been raised by so many women in the yogi form, so I would want you to tell me, because as a child, we usually don't understand religion, spirituality. When was it the first time when you became interested into the spiritual mentoring? When did that happen?
See, I feel spirituality by itself, the word is too heavy. First of all, let me tell you this. Uh, Religion is much more easier because it has a lot of rituals which are easy to follow. Like, you go to a temple, you bow down, you are applied a tilak. So for me, religion is much more easier to follow. But spirituality, it's like, you are just thrown into an ocean and you just have to swim, 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 and swim with no end. So it's like, rather than going into too much of the definitive spirituality, I would say for me, spirituality is something which is simple. That's what I have been teaching as a teacher to everyone. Don't go into too much of detailing, go into simplicity. So when I say simplicity, what does it mean? It's like, while you are seeing someone's sorrow, if your eyes are moist, if you feel, like crying, I feel you are spiritual, in the sense that you still have that humanity within you, which of lately many people they have lost. I mean, today what we see in society is that people they hurt each other and yet there is no remorse. While we were growing up, it was not such. जब हम अपनी माँ को या बहन को या किसी के साथ जोर से बात भी करते थे, उनको हर्ट करते थे, तो सारा दिन जैसे बेचैनी रहती थी. आज ऐसा नहीं है. आज जितने भी जो भी यंगस्टर्स है, वो इन एंड आउट कितना करते रिलेशनशिप में से. आज इन हुए, 2-4 दिन के बाद ब्रेकअप, वापस दूसरे में इन हुए. तो वो जो इमोशनल कंटेंट जो है या क्वेश्चन जिसको हम कहते हैं, वो धीरे धीरे डाउन होता जा रहा है. तो इसका बहुत गहरा कनेक्शन स्पिरिचुअलिटी से है. because I feel to be spiritual, first of all, you need to be loveful, you need to be respectful, you need to be humble. That's what makes a person spiritual. ये कोई एक ऐसा शब्द नहीं है कि भाई हाँ इसको ये चिपका दिया स्टिकर भी स्पिरिचुअल है. नहीं, स्पिरिचुअलिटी मेक्स यू विद लॉट ऑफ वैल्यूज बीइंग इनकलकेटेड विद इन यू. तो आपके अंदर वो ह्यूमिलिटी होनी चाहिए. अगर कोई गिर गया तो उसको हाथ देकर उठाने का आपके अंदर वो एक भाव होना चाहिए. तो मैं हमेशा कहता हूं कि संसार दो चीज के आधार पे चलता है, भाव और भावना. हम सबका कहाँ ना कहाँ किसी व्यक्ति के अंदर भाव है, पहले अपने पेरेंट्स में, फिर अपने टीचर्स में, दोस्तों में. तो भाव से भावना उत्पन्न होती है, और जहां भावना होती है, भावना के बाद श्रद्धा बैठती है कि नहीं ये बरोबर है. तो भाव और भावना ही अगर नहीं है तो फिर ऐसे व्यक्ति के लिए स्पिरिचुअलिटी को एम्ब्रेस करना इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट. यू नीड टू हैव दैट इमोशनल क्वोशंट. एंड आई हैव एक्सपीरियंस इन लास्ट 35 years. फॉर मी, मैं समझता हूं इस विश्व के अंदर सबसे पावरफुल यदि कोई शक्ति है, इस विश्व के अंदर पावरफुल सबसे बड़ा जो शस्त्र है वो है प्रेम, लव. नाउ लव इन इट्स ट्रूएस्ट फॉर्म अनकंडीशनल फॉर्म, अनअडल्टरेटेड लव। ये नहीं गिव एंड टेक वाला, तुम मेरे लिए ये करो तो मैं ये करूं, ऐसे नहीं। तो ऐसा प्यार मैं, मेरी दृष्टि में एक माँ के अंदर है, क्योंकि एक माँ जो है वो भगवान के बाद नेक्स्ट मैं उसको समझता हूं, क्योंकि अपने शरीर के अंदर से एक नए जीव को एक जन्म देना, ये कोई साधारण बात नहीं है। तो इसीलिए हम देखते हैं कि संसार में बच्चा कितना भी बड़ा क्यों नहीं हो जाए, अपनी माँ के लिए वो बच्चा ही रहता है। तो निस्वार्थ प्रेम, निस्वार्थ वो जो भाव, वात्सल्य, ये क्या है एक्चुअली? ये स्पिरिचुअलिटी है। दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव सीन लेडीज एंड विमेन, स्पेशली मदर्स, ये स्पिरिचुअलिटी को जल्दी समझती भी है, जल्दी स्वीकार भी करती है। और इसीलिए मैं देखता हूँ मोस्ट ऑफ द स्पिरिचुअल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आप कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जाके देख लीजिए, वहां पे माताएं बहनें ज्यादा होंगी, पुरुष कम होंगे, राइट? उसका वजह ये है कि ये लोग बाय डिफॉल्ट स्पिरिचुअल होती है, उनके अंदर वो देने का भाव होता है, त्याग की भावना होती है, तपस्या की भावना होती है, परोपकार की भावना होती है कि बच्चा कितना भी भूल करेगा, माँ माफ करेगी। वो पुरुष के अंदर नहीं है ये चीज। पुरुष माफ करने में थोड़े स्त्री की बेट में कम है, करते हैं, बट माँ जो है वो वात्सल्य की मूर्त है। तो इसीलिए mothers are by default spiritual, whereas men, they have to work upon themselves.
So, if we come to the business world, we reached out to you on LinkedIn, and I was so happy to see you on LinkedIn because honestly, there are spiritual people, but having spiritual leaders and mentors and actively involved on LinkedIn. And so, my question is that in the business world, it's very easy for us to take, adapt to, or, accept or embrace skills. You can go for a coaching or you can go for a training session and learn that skill. So when we come to spirituality, you think it is easy, and how easy it is to adapt and embrace spirituality? Like you rightly said that it's you have to learn. So how easy it is, and what are the sadhanas for it?
Let me tell you, when you use the word business, I have a very long background of corporate training. I mean, good 12 years I've done aggressive corporate training programs for, I mean, all the corporates pan India, to start with, of course, Godrej Group, then Coca-Cola India, PepsiCo India, Volkswagen, Nicholas Piramal, Hero Honda, Mitsubishi, uh, not Jaguar India, lots and lots of companies. So post 12 years, then I also experience, burnout issue, and I said, I'm done with it. And I trained 3, 4 people under me, and they are still carrying on with it. But good amount of my personality, I mean, not hesitate to, apart from Brahma Kumaris, I would not hesitate to give credit to Mr. Sorabji Piroj Shah Godrej, who was the then chairman of Godrej and Boys Company. Me and him, we shared a very unusual friendship. I, 19, 20-year-old kid, just finished his study with management and HRD subject, and he was 86, 87-year-old stalwart, the great, I mean, the industrialist, Padma Vibhushan. He taught me a lot of values. Values as in, I will tell you simple things like, not many know about Surabji Piroj Shah Godrej. He used to iron his own clothes. Such a rich man. He used to polish his own shoes. He used to clean his own toilet. Yes, Parsis, they are known, for their certain value system. But I mean, look at this man, richest of the richest. His home was next to the chief minister of Maharashtra's home. And the way he was living his life, very, very simple life. His shoes were like simple lace shoes and properly polished. And he used to wear a lot of these badges around his um, on his shirt, this WWF Tiger Ka, and then he used to wear one black ribbon always. So curiously, I asked him, "Sir, I mean, what is this?" He's like, he was a climate crusader, especially as far as mangroves are concerned, saving of mangroves. I mean, I would credit a lot of people who would be hearing me post this episode in Mumbai. Today, Mumbai is able to breathe good air. I would thank Mr. Godrej and his fight to preserve the mangroves belt across the company where Godrej is situated, Piroj Shanagar Vikroli. So there is all this belt uh, parallel to the company which goes on to the Thane Creek. It's full of mangroves. So he fought vigorously to save these mangroves. I mean, why would an industrialist do this? So all these things I learned from him. That is, one needs to give back to the society. Number one. Number two, money does not makes you rich. I mean, to all the young startup guys who are coming up, guys, just think again. Your value system, your values, they make you rich. Actually, I've seen so many people, they are so rich, but the values, no values, it's missing. So you could see while they are conversing with you, their behavior. So being rich, for me, what I learned from him was more and more simple, more and more humble, more and more giving. That I learned from him. So and he encouraged me. I did a lot of trainings for shop floor level in the company, especially for the workers who were facing a lot of issues due to addictions. Because see, shop floor, see, most of this I mean, modern management consultants, they would concentrate on what? HR or personnel. But the actual thing wherein you need to pay attention is shop floor, the lowest level. You have to start from there. But these consultants, they don't go there. Chief, no, 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 you don't talk with workers. No. To bring any company to a proper balance stage, you have to start from down. So workers, I took around I think around 30 batches of 125 to 150 people each workers to Mount Abu. All paid trip by the company, and it used to be a 3 day stress management and Rajyoga retreat for the workers of Godrej company to Mount Abu. That completely changed the scenario in company. A lot of people, they left their addictions. I mean, most of them were into tobacco chewing and cigarette and drinking. Because of that, their family life was disturbed, and because of that, the productivity and work efficiency was disturbed, and because of that, the profitability of the company was disturbed. So once the lowest end, once you fix that, it reflects upside. So this white collar guys, they don't like really actually. So I mean, sorry to offend the managers or personnel, but they don't like to interact with workers. Let me tell you, Rashi ji, Sorabji Godrej, he used to go personally to the locks division, जो ताला बनाते हैं, रेफ्रिजरेटर डिवीजन जो फ्रिज बनाते थे गोदरेज, पर्सनली वो प्लांट में जाते थे, वर्कर्स के कंधे पे हाथ रख करके तुम्हारा कैसा चल रहा है, बेटी की पढ़ाई कैसी चल रही है, मम्मी की तबीयत ठीक है. He used to know a lot of workers by name. उनके नाम से जानते थे. अरे रामदास कैसे हो, अरे रघु कैसे हो, अरे प्रवीण तुम क्या गांव से कभी आया, सब ठीक है, खेती वगैरह ओके है. These things, these are quality of a manager. This boosts the morality, and it motivates a worker कि नहीं, सेठ हमारे साथ बात कर रहा है, मालिक हमको पूछ रहा है, मेरे को और हार्ड वर्क करना है. So that gap needs to be filled. Again, I would call this spirituality. I mean, imagine the chairman, Godrej, going down to the plant. And plant को ऐसा नहीं नीचे, he used to sit in plant 13. Locks is almost 5 minutes drive. उनको लॉक्स डिवीजन में जाना है, कार से उतरेंगे, अंदर चल के जाना पड़ता है, and to talk with those people. So the CEOs should understand this. You need to connect with your roots because these are the people who are making your products.
I totally buy what you're saying, honestly. Because you understand empathy, I understand empathy, so I can relate to what you are saying. But today's time, people are more of takers. There are very little people who are givers. What do you have to say on that?
It's obvious because there is cutthroat competition and ambition. Yes, it was. If you go a decade back, people were ambitious, no doubt about it. There's nothing wrong about being ambitious, but while being ambitious, people are now getting more and more shrewd, or should I say, I'm compelled to use this word, but criminal psychology, I would say. Again, I'm sorry to use this word, but it's happening. They just want to do anything to go up. Now, that is not right. So, my dear friends who are watching or hearing me, you may succeed once, twice, or thrice, but then you may fall down very badly. Mark my words. My 35 years, especially 12 years as a corporate trainer, I have seen such people. Today, they are on roads. I repeat, they are on roads. So, success at the cost of bringing someone down, success at the cost of your criminal psychology, it won't sustain for good amount of time. It's not right.
So, this is absolutely right, what you just said, and beautifully put that in the long run, you will not benefit if you are taking the wrong ways. But seeing the culture today, we have many, many youngsters starting probably from the age of, I think, maybe 12, are taking to going in for alcohol. The scene, by the time they are 22, 23, they are totally addicted to alcohol. What are your views? What are the tips where people can, try to leave alcohol?
See, I had written two columns. One column I had written on drug de-addiction, and another column I had written on porn addiction. Okay. The first one was well received by my editors. 60% of my editors, I write for almost 40 plus newspapers. 60% of them are women. When I wrote on porn addiction, a lot of my editors, they said, why is getting into this? Because the byline is Rajyogi Brahma Kumar Nikunj. But then when I read the report from Pornhub, who comes out with the report that in which country youngsters in the age group of 9 to 12 or 9 to 15, they spend most amount of the time on watching porn. So I was surprised that in India, the average age of 9 to 15, they watch porn for an average amount of 3.15 minutes. Okay. So that compelled me to write about this because I had written this, I think, 9 years back. Uh, and it was a data boom. I mean, a lot of ISPs, they were coming out with a lot of free data packages, and so I had very beautifully combined these things. And at the end of it, I raised a question that in this whole technological boom and development, are we missing something? A boy who is watching porn for an average amount of 3.5 minutes, would you expect that boy to look at any women, or for that matter, even his sister or mom or someone else in the family with a good eye? I don't know, because a lot of youngsters, they used to write to me about these things. So when the piece was carried by Indian Express, I received almost 500 plus feedback from young children in age group of 11 to 70. What I found was that these kids, they first got into smoking. You know, uh, I interacted with a few of them from north and south and western India. And what I found was that most of them, they were got into this by their friends. कि मेरे friend ने बोला try करो तो मैंने try किया. After that, they got into this porn addiction thing. After that, you'd be surprised. These are interconnected. After that, they got into this going to clubs. You know, going to clubs and playing cards and this board games. So kind of gambling. So all these things were connected, and because of this, I was compelled to write on education reforms, because they are in school. How can this happen with children who go to good prestigious schools, and I mean, under the eye of management, or for that matter teachers? How can this happen? And even parents, how they can't know? So that's when I wrote about educational reforms, that how school should be, operating. What is the role of a teacher? What is the role of a parent? I do a lot of podcast. Um, of lately, I shot for a podcast with children. So three young girls, they, interviewed me. So out of that, one girl studying in standard 8th. So, I mean, it was shocking for me. What do I answer this girl? She's asking me a question. She asked me two questions. Question number one was that most of my friends, standard 8th, huh? So just go back to what you were in standard 8th. So standard 8 girl is asking me, most of my friends have minimum of one or two boyfriends. I don't have any boyfriend. So I'm, feeling little out of space and left out, and also a little bit depressed. Number one. Number two, girl, she's saying that most of my friends, they do vape. So I said, what is vape? I don't know. So she said, "Arey, you don't know?" I said, I don't know what is vape. She said, it's a electric cigarette. And they bring in school bag, and so I said, I don't know. And immediately she pulls out her phone and dekho ye hai. I said, I'm sorry, I don't know. Good, I learned something new from you. So she said that, most of my friends, they do vape, but मैं तो नहीं करती हूँ, तो मैं क्या करूँ? Her question was that I tell her what she should do. So I was like, see, I mean, you be your own boyfriend. Why do you need a boy? Be your own friend first. Just try. there is nothing to feel pressure like that, uske ek boyfriend, do boyfriend hai, mera koi nahi hai. Why you are feeling so? Her life is hers, your life is yours. तुमको क्या तकलीफ है किसी के पास क्या है उसमें? But this peer pressure thing, that is also working out, and most of these kids, they get into any kind of addiction, it is because of peer pressure. And I'll tell you one more thing. So one boy who was on cocaine drugs, he was a 16-year-old boy. uh, he was put into rehab, but then he got withdrawal symptoms. His mom had brought him to me to meet me, but post this I mean, post this accident, what had happened was, in rehab, he just doused his eyes, हाथ डाल के आंख ही निकाल दिया उसने. So he lost, he's blind actually today. So his mom had brought me to him. He's blind, and he sat with me for an hour and a half, and I was really scared to see. But so then I told him that you make videos of yourself and inspire children, because the way you have suffered, nobody else should. So these withdrawal symptoms are also so unbearable. It's very, very difficult to get out of it. The only way, again, to help such children is family support, which unfortunately they do not get. The families, they just start shouting and daante, dapatte. These kids can come out from this situation only with your love and affection. अन्यथा ये और डबल नीचे गिरते जाएंगे. So such people, they should be handled with lot of care. And also I see society, ये इनको बिल्कुल जैसे वो बैन कर देती. Even if someone gets to know कि भाई इनके घर में ऐसा ऐसा है, इसको ड्रग एडिक्शन है, तो you are socially banned. ये चीज नहीं होनी चाहिए.
So tell me something. Let us talk about, because we are speaking about parenting. So when a parent, see, I'm also a parent, okay? Today, as a parent, if you come to know that your child has got, because it's starting at school level now. Initially, it was college level. I want to know if the parent is not enlightened, or if the parent is not समझदार, I would say. Like you rightly said कि पेरेंट्स चिल्लाने लगते हैं, गुस्सा करने लगते हैं, बच्चों को और डांटने लगते हैं, they get more scared and they do more. तो अगर पेरेंट को ही समझ नहीं है तो उसके लिए क्या साधना है? मतलब पेरेंट्स तो और भी नहीं सुनते हैं.
So one mother of two teenage children, she also does a podcast with me on parenting. She is a commercial artist. Last month she did an episode with me, and she was like, she has a teenage daughter, and she's the mother is quite apprehensive and restless to check her phone, but the phone of daughter is, I think, password protected. So she was like, मेरे साथ तो password share नहीं कर रही है, मतलब I'm getting restless. So I said, leave it. Don't be, too much of nagging. इतना nagging नहीं करी. See, आज हम ऐसे एक समाज में जी रहे हैं जहाँ पे बच्चे जो है, दे आर आर्टिफिशियली इंटेलिजेंट. एक होता था नेचुरली इंटेलिजेंट. हम लोग जो है धीरे धीरे ग्रेजुअली अकल आई हमारे, कि हमारे समय में इतना एक्सपोजर नहीं था कोई आईटी का, इतना कोई रियलिटी शोज नहीं थे, और बहुत बहुत तो क्या ट्यूशन में जाते थे, और बस उतना ही, और तो कोई अकल थी नहीं. बट आज जो है, एक तो एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटीज, बेचारा बच्चा जो है अभी तो अर्जुन तो क्रॉलिंग स्टेज से थोड़ा आया उसमें, तो उसको भरतनाट्यम में डाल दो, कराटे में डाल दो, अच्छा हो दिस. I was, I mean, I came 3 days back from Abu, I was flying from Udaipur. There was a mother and son sitting next to me. I think the son would be 3 or 4 year old, but that mother had brought that Sudoku ka, this thing. And this kid was बार he was throwing, मतलब वो बार नीचे गिर रहा था, and the mother was, नहीं बाबू ऐसा मत करो, बाबू ऐसा मत, solve इतना कर दो, इतना कर दो. And he was like, he wanted to enjoy the flight. But आप constantly, मतलब too much of ambition in parents is also one of the reason I have seen. मेरा बच्चा या बच्ची भी उसके बच्चे या बच्ची जैसा हो, ये बरोबर नहीं है. That is killing the whole innocence of relationship between parent and a child, I feel. Number two, I see that थोड़ा सा वो जो ट्रस्ट और बॉन्ड होना चाहिए. मैं आई एम टॉकिंग प्रिसाइजली फॉर द मदर्स, क्योंकि माँ ही है जो ज्यादा क्लोज होती है. तो माँ जो होती है तो उसका क्या सबकॉन्शियस अटैचमेंट बहुत होता है. जन्म दिया ना खुद ने, तो कितना बजे गई, कितना बजे आई, क्या कर रही है, किसके साथ है. अभी जैसे दैट लेडी, शी आस्क्ड मी अ क्वेश्चन दैट हर डॉटर इज कॉन्स्टेंटली, मतलब बार बार प्रेशर कर रही है, और नाइट ओवर के लिए, वो रात को फ्रेंड के घर के करके पढ़ाई करने के लिए, एंड शी इज नॉट अलाउिंग. तो आई आस्क कहाँ रहती है उसकी फ्रेंड, तो बोला मना 3 फ्लोर्स डाउन. मैंने कहा जाने दो ना, आप क्यों इतना सोच रही हो. सी द थिंग इज, कॉन्स्टेंटली आप बच्चों को हर बात के लिए मना करेंगे, फिर वो झूठ बोल करके वो करना शुरू करते हैं. पहला वो ट्राई करते हैं ईमानदारी से पूछने का, मम्मा आई डू दिस, मम्मा आई डू दिस. एक बार दो बार देखते मेरा बात नहीं हो रही है, तो फिर वो झूठ बोल करके करते हो, बट वो करते जरूर है. तो इसीलिए अब वो, तो उसमें मम्मियों को क्या होता है, हमको मालूम कैसे पड़ेगा हमारा बच्चा. तो मैं कहता हूं कि देखिए, जो माँ होती है, दे आर द बेस्ट डिटेक्टिव्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. सो बच्चों के ऊपर ध्यान रखिए, परंतु ऐसे रखिए कि उसको पता नहीं चलना चाहिए, नहीं तो भी ये लोग एग्रेसिव हो जाते हैं कि भी तुम मेरा जासूसी कर रही है, तुम मेरा ये कर रही हो, पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. एट द सेम टाइम योर बिहेवियर शुड बी नॉर्मल. देखिए, आज के समय में जो भी माता पिता, उनकी चिंता जो है वो लाजमी है. उसका वजह ये है कि घर से बाहर एक बार बच्चा स्कूल बस में गया, उसके बाद तो भगवान भरोसे है सब. बस में क्या हुआ उसके साथ, यू डोंट नो. वहां स्कूल में गया, यू डोंट नो क्या हुआ. somebody bullied your child or someone played any prank on you. और देखिए, मैं देख रहा हूं जो आज के बच्चे, दे आर एक्सट्रीमली सेंसिटिव. मैं कहूंगा, मेरे साथ जो टीम है, आपको एक वीडियो भेजे. एक 11 ईयर ओल्ड बच्चे ने मेरे साथ एक पॉडकास्ट किया. यू वुड बी मूव टू टीयर्स. क्या क्वेश्चन है उसके, दे आर वेरी सेंसिटिव. हम नहीं थे इतने, अगर होंगे तो भी अक्ल नहीं था हमको कि हम सेंसिटिव है, बट आज है. जुवेनाइल डिप्रेशन is a fact of our society. I have written 2 columns on juvenile depression, and we as a society should accept. तो जब आपने अभी प्रश्न पूछा माँ बाप समझते नहीं है, माँ बाप, तो मैं कहूंगा lot of young couples, they come to meet me 2 years 3 years in marriage. I always tell them, देखो बाबा, 10 बार सोचना बिफोर हैविंग किड. तुम कर सकते हो मैनेज तो ही बच्चा पैदा करो. अगर आप वो वैल्यूज उनको दे सकने वाले हो, टाइम दे सकते हो, अटेंशन दे सकते हो, तो बच्चा पैदा करो. अन्यथा डोंट डू इट, क्योंकि दैट वुड बी इनजस्टिस टू द चाइल्ड. बोथ द पेरेंट्स आर वर्किंग. मैं आई वाज इनवाइटेड बाय विमेंस कमीशन, उसमें मैंने स्पष्ट बोला था, इवन इन लॉट ऑफ इंटरव्यूज आई हैव सेड दैट टुडे, आज के जनरेशन को माँ नहीं पाल रही है, मेड पाल रही है. मेड संस्कार नहीं दे सकती है. बच्चा पैदा आपने किया, उसको संस्कार आपको देना है, मेड को नहीं देना है संस्कार. तो मेड का दिया हुआ संस्कार जिस बच्चे के अंदर है, वो कैसा फिर बनेगा, वो अपने माँ बाप का रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करेगा. जो माँ है उसको संस्कार देना चाहिए. एंड lot of professional ladies, they come to, I mean, I have also done a episode on postpartum depression. And मैं कहता हूँ, see, now that you have given birth to a child, the wise way out is to take a break from your job. फिर पैदा क्यों किया? बच्चे को टाइम चाहिए और आप मेड के हवाले करोगे नहीं, ठीक है। और द सेकेंड ऑप्शन विच आई ऑलवेज से, फिर नाना नानी या दादा दादी होने चाहिए। कोई ऐसा होना चाहिए जो उसको अपनापन महसूस कराए, हु इज नॉट ऑन पेमेंट। दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट।
Okay, this is great learning, I think, and most of the women should understand and listen to you. Tell me something, Nikunji. What is your uh, daily life routine? Let me also know what time you get up and what time you sleep and what is your daily routine. Let's hear.
See, most of us in Brahma Kumaris, I would not hesitate to use this. We have to get up by 3:30, take bath, get ready by 4:15, and sit for meditation, which we call Amrit Vela, or as we say Brahma Murat, the morning meditation. It's around 30 minutes, 40 minutes, depending on the person, how long he or she wants to sit. Post that, a lot of people, they again doze off. Some of them, they move on with their fitness regime of going for walk. If they are in Abu or Mount Abu, they go for walk, or they do yoga or exercise. So by 6:30 or by late 6:45, most of us are in our classrooms. So Brahma Kumaris, as everyone knows, we are present in 142 countries worldwide with over 7,000 plus branches. They go to their classroom. Those who are staying with their families, like जिसको कहते हैं अपने घर में रहने वाले, they come from their houses. People living in centers like us, we are surrender, दीक्षा लिए हुए. तो then even we reach our classes. फिर जो teacher usually जो head होते हैं, like in Abu, the head दादी जी वो होते हैं, या जो भी senior होते हैं, they take class for around 45-50 minutes. Again, it's more of value based teachings, lecture kind of. Post that, I think 8:30, go for breakfast. And post that, I mean, people like me, I get a lot of visitors who come to meet me. There are personal meetings, there are shootings, then I have to write columns if someone has requested for a column on some special topic. And because I am responsible for the media and public relations of Brahma Kumaris, a lot of interviews I have to give. Then I think by noon, it's lunchtime, 1:32. And then again, because we get up so early, so there is a afternoon nap for an hour. Then again by 4:30, some people do meditation, some people do readings. Depends what they like. Again by 5 o'clock, people start coming in classes. There are lectures usually in evenings. There are special lectures. I mean, like right now I am doing with you. I usually have lectures overseas. In a lot of foreign countries, there are Zoom talks. तो वो शाम को वो होता है. Again, evening 6:30 to 7:30, everywhere across the world, people meditate in Brahma Kumaris, because we feel that time is as good as Brahma Muhurat, 6:30 to 7:30. तो शाम को कोई 7 to 7:30 करता है, कोई 6:30 to 7 करता है. Then again, it's dinner time. And maybe by 9:45, 10, it's off. But I would tell you, all the viewers, one thing. It's a good exercise for those who don't get sleep very easily. So before sleeping, at least I do this. Many of people in my organization, they also do. We rewind our whole day. आज सुबह से मैंने क्या क्या किया, Did I hurt anyone? Did I talk loudly with someone? I mean, did I shouted at anyone? Did I felt upset from someone? Did I overdid something? ये सब मतलब एक we reverse and then last में पूरा okay मेरा ये है and then we close the book and then we sleep. And trust me, I mean, it helps a lot in getting sound sleep. I mean, most of the people, what they do is they hit the bed with a lot of burden and baggage. What happens is then, एक तो it remains in your subconscious, number one. Number two, it may happen so कि उसी में से कोई चीज का ड्रीम आपको आएगा most of the times. And third and most important thing, आपको sound sleep नहीं मिलेगी तो आप सुबह उठोगे तभी you will maybe get up with a bad mood or body ache, या कहाँ ना कहाँ दर्द होगा आपको. तो इससे तो बेटर है पूरा खाली करके you should sleep.
Tell me something. There are so many spiritual organizations out there in the world. Okay. And everybody claims it to be the best. And I have no doubts because it is the spiritual way. But then why does they say that it's the best? That's what I want to know. Because everywhere they're teaching the same lessons, the same spiritual lessons. So let's have your views on that.
See, I mean, I haven't heard. We don't say anyone that we are the best. There are many who would be saying this. Even I know them personally. Um, See, this organization, if I may talk about Brahma Kumaris with us, I was asked one question by a journalist from Free Press Journal. She asked me that, most of this organization, other organizations, they have a issue of leadership. I mean, like the founder or the one guru is very popular. Tomorrow, he or she, if they are no more, to aage kya? In our case, we don't have leadership crisis at all, because Brahma Kumaris does not follow one leadership model. As in, like, it's like if one dadi or any top person, if he or she they leave their body, I mean, if they are no more, so there is a whole lineup. There are thousands. तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं system. So we don't have leadership issue. Number two, I mean, I don't like to use this word, but now that you have asked this question, we are not in the business of spirituality. Okay, we are basically we impart spiritual education. So our basic structure is very different from others. Number three, we don't make anything and sell anything. हमारे पास तो ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं कि कोई चीज ऐसा हमने बनाया और बेचा या एडवर्टाइज दिया कि आप ये चीज खरीद लो. वो सिस्टम ही नहीं है ऐसा. एट द मोस्ट यू वुड कम टू माउंट आबू, आपको क्या मिलेगा? हमारा लिटरेचर काउंटर है, 4 भाषाओं में 5 भाषाओं में बुक्स मिलेगी आपको, वो भी फाउंडर का बायोग्राफी और बाकी कुछ जो बुक्स है अबाउट द टीचिंग्स ऑफ सोल एंड स्पिरिचुअल, वो आपको कुछ मिल जाएगा. तो हम लोग कुछ मैन्युफैक्चर करके बेचते नहीं है. अनदर थिंग इज दैट, which is I would say most distinctive, we don't charge anything. आप ब्रह्म कुमारी में आओ, आपको सीखना मेडिटेशन, इट्स फ्री. हम तो कुछ पैसा लेते ही नहीं है. तो there is vast difference between others and us. Now I always say to each their own. बहुत सारे लोग हैं कहाँ कहाँ यहाँ वहाँ जाते. For me, all these people, they are most respected. I respect them all. क्यों? देखिए, 3 घंटा सिनेमा में जाकर के आप क्या क्या चीजें देख करके मन में डाल के आते हो, उससे तो 1 घंटा किसी लर्नेड पर्सन का टॉक आप सुनने गए, कुछ तो अच्छा जाएगा आपके दिमाग में. एंड आई मीन दीज पावरफुल सोल्स, स्पेशली जो कथा करते हैं, ओके, आज 1 घंटा 2 घंटा हजारों की पब्लिक को पकड़ के रखना, ये भी तो आर्ट है ना, जादू है. So they have that charisma. And I mean, for that, I mean, hats off to them. But at the same time, my thought process and philosophy is that ज्ञान जो है वो जो भी आपके पास जिज्ञासु आता है तो ज्ञान आपको अर्पण करना है, ज्ञान आप बेच नहीं सकते। उस द वैल्यू ऑफ ज्ञान इज लॉस्ट अगर आप बेचोगे तो। यू कांट ट्रेड नॉलेज, नॉलेज इज टू बी गिवन लवफुली, अनकंडीशनली, दैट एनरिचेस दैट पर्सन। अगर मैं आपके पास आऊं क्या, मुझे भाई ये राशि जी के पास मेडिटेशन सीखने जाना, आप मुझे बोलोगे हाँ मेरा टैरिफ है 7 दिन का इतना कोर्स का है, इसका स्ट्रेस फ्री का इतना, तो मैं आई वुड प्रोबब्ली कम विद दैट माइंड, मैंने ये लिया फिर आपने मुझे सिखाया तो देन आई विल कभी, मुझे तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं, मैं तो पैसा वेस्ट हो गया। तो प्राप्ति नहीं होती है, खुशी नहीं होती। तो मैं समझता हूँ व्हाट वी हैव बीन टॉट एंड ब्रॉट अप विथ इज कि ज्ञान अर्जित करवाना पड़ता है। जैसे माँ का दूध जो है वो माँ पिलाती है बड़े प्यार से, माँ का दूध बेचा नहीं जाता है। तो ये ज्ञान भी ऐसा है, ये जैसे अमृत है, अमृत आप किसी को ऐसे पिलाते हो, उसको बेचना, इट विल लूज दैट पोटेंसी, आई फील।
You know, when you go to the business world out there, somebody who is not giving you enough respect or even belittling you, you know, thinking you are lesser than them, there is a lot of conflict. You know, while talking to you right now, I'm sure people would be, you know, putting you at a very high level because they listen to you, they follow you. So, how does one handle into the business world when people don't respect them to the kind of level they need to be respected? Let's hear.
See, I feel that respect, not just in business field but in any field, respect is to be gained, you know. And um, again, I have seen that a lot of women in corporate world, they face this issue, especially if women is boss, even her subordinates or people working under her, they don't respect her. Or rather, I would say men really find it hard to accept any women leading them. Let me put it this way: it's hard for men to accept to take orders from women. Why? Because they have a wife at home, so they feel कि अरे we are boss, how can this women lead us or give orders to us. It's not about men and women. I feel it's more about the talent, the quality, and जिसको हम कहते हैं विशेषता. Why are we so obsessed as a society about gender? I don't understand this. I have written extensively on gender inequality. Why are we so obsessed society, men or women? है क्या है मतलब इतना ऑब्सेशन? एक व्यक्ति की काबिलियत, उसकी जो शक्ति, उसकी जो विशेषता है, उससे उसको पहचानो आप। तो मैं समझता हूं कि सम्मान जो है वो आपोआप आपको प्राप्त होना चाहिए रादर देन आस्किंग फॉर इट। एंड मेरा एक्सपीरियंस से मैंने ये देखा है कि मान लीजिए आप एक कंपनी में हो, वहां पे आपके अंडर मान लीजिए 100 जन काम करते हैं, उसमें से 10% ऐसे होंगे who would never accept you all their life. 90% would appreciate you, provided you makes yourself worthy enough for them. क्योंकि प्रत्येक मनुष्य को ये है कि भी मेरे लिए क्या फायदा इनसे। तो व्यक्ति को जब ये लगता है कि हाँ इनसे मुझे ये फायदा या प्राप्ति होगी या माई लाइफ वुड बी एनरिच्ड फ्रॉम हिम और हर, दे स्टार्ट अप्रिशिएटिंग एंड वैल्यूइंग एंड रिस्पेक्टिंग। बावजूद इसके वो 10% लोग हैं, वो नहीं करेंगे आपको। सो यू हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दोस 10% इन योर लाइफ। एंड आई ऑलवेज से दैट निंदा हमारी जो करे सो है मित्र हमारा। आई अप्रिशिएट सच पीपल क्योंकि वो 10% लोग दे कीप अस गोइंग, अदरवाइज वी बिकम कॉम्प्लेसेंट। वो 10% के कारण हम लोगों के अंदर जोश कायम रहता है कि हाँ इसके लिए करना पड़ेगा।
Absolutely beautiful point that this is. Okay, I would want you to give your one success mantra and one message to all the brands and communities out there. Over to you.
So success, I mean, again, it's a very overhyped word for me. I feel that especially for the corporate people and those who have been since so many decades and those who are starting, for both the groups, I would like to say that I mean, just chill a bit. Don't be too serious. Life is too short to you know. I see a lot of people, they sulk a lot. Initially it was like people were like, no, women sulk a lot, but no, I see men sulking a lot of lately. Just relax, because आपकी समस्या से कल का सूरज अपने टाइम पर ही आने वाला है, उसमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. So I think that ups and downs, they are a part of life. One should accept ups and downs gracefully. So while you are up, be humble. While you are down, be humble again. This humility would sustain you for good amount of years. What happens is, with success, people, they start losing humility. Then that is, I think, a signal of your fall. Even in success, be humble. Even in failure, be humble. Humility you should always keep with you throughout your life. And also, I would like most of you to redefine the criteria for success. I mean, what is success? क्या आपने कुछ अचीव किया वो सक्सेस है क्या? So non-achievers are not successful. Not really. I have seen so many, मैं बहुत सारे लोगों को देखता हूँ, सब कुछ they have achieved the highest, the pinnacle. खुश नहीं है. फायदा क्या? Lot of top industrialists, they bump into me, while I'm flying at airport lounges. They ask me this question. हमारे पास सब कुछ है, करोड़ों रुपए की गाड़ी है, हॉलीडे होम्स है, हर महीने 2 महीने फॉरेन ट्रिप करते, खुशी नहीं है हमको, पता नहीं. तो फिर क्या फायदा? तो यू आर नॉट सक्सेसफुल. फॉर मी, a person who is happy from within is the one who is successful. बाकी आप यहाँ पहुंच गए, वहां पहुंच गए, इधर गए, तो उससे क्या होना है? खुशी, खुशी चाहिए. You should be happy and content. So redefine your criteria for success.
Absolutely wonderful. And I'm sure all our listeners and viewers will benefit from this amazing, sadhanas and tips that you've told us. You forgive me for asking this, but I still want to ask you this. So, Rajyogi ji, are you married?
Not really.
Okay. Okay, one last question. Is it about being God? They are treated as being next to God. So, what do you have to say about that?
I had done one project, I think 20 years back, and that project was called God is One. So I firmly believe there is only one God, and God has to be one only, so that people don't get confused. There may be many messengers of God, no doubt. There have been many messengers of God. There are many messengers of God. There are many who have been created by God, creations. This can be, but God has to be only one. There can't be many gods. There can't be someone like God, not possible. Yes, obviously, there can be people who may have learned something from God. They may be teaching something which they learned from God, teachings of God. They can't be God.
A very profound, simple Rajyogi Brahma Kumar Nikunj stands with us with a beacon of spiritual enlightenment. आपका बहुत बहुत थैंक्स है कि आप आए. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. All his details, his email ID is available on the video. Get in touch with him in case you want to invite him for a forum or you want to see spiritual lessons from him. Thank you so much, sir.